Samuel James.
Hey, Alex, how's things?
I'm good, thank you. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Finally here.
Yeah.
Finally
Thank
here,
you for
man.
coming.
Yeah, no worries, man. No worries.
If I was to ask you who you are and what you do, because there's so many different things that we've talked about off camera, how would you encapsulate all of this into one, or would you?
I would say actor, entrepreneur, and mentor, probably. They're the three main things, the focus of what I do. So, yeah, man.
Where were you born?
Leytonstone, Walthamstow. Yeah, Leytonstone, yeah.
To what nationality parents?
I would say Jamaican.
Jamaican parents?
Yeah.
Mum and dad?
Yeah, mum and dad
Any
together.
siblings?
Younger brother,
Yeah.
who's 27, married, 2 kids.
Okay.
And sister who's 25, married, no kids.
Are you married?
I'm not.
Do you have any kids?
No, I don't.
And you're the oldest?
I am, yeah.
How do your parents look at you for that?
Do you know what? There's no judgment. And I'm glad, there's no judgment.
Amazing.
Mum's impatient. It makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, that. But I think I'm glad because it's given me an opportunity to be free,
to
know more about myself and build myself up, because marriage is not, it's not a joke. This is a different type of arena as a man. You know, your life changes and it's a big risk, especially on the men's side as well. Yeah, man, you're looking at, divorce rates are up as well. I think, marriage in general, like when you're marrying a woman, you've got to really focus on how she can support you, her mindset long term as well, and who she is as a woman. You know, she's going to be raising your kids, and just the image of the family, really. You know.
And then, what would you say she has to focus on the male side?
So,
like, you just gave a couple bullet points about as a marriage, what you think the girl should bring, right?
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah.
What would you say is your...
Well, the man should bring?
Yeah.
Oh, 100% leadership.
Okay.
To remain in your frame. To be a man that makes good decisions. Just to be a man that thinks forward. You know what I mean? Because as men, we're always thinking about different scenarios. But I think to be able to provide, you know, not a lot of guys have that mindset, and they don't have a long-term mindset as well. And just be humble, man. Do what's right. And believe, not even believe, like be open to be vulnerable. You have to be at some point. I'm not going to sit here and say you need to be strong all the time, and there needs to be a soft side to you, man. That you need to show to your spouse.
Yeah.
And it's all about teamwork. Work with your woman, man, and doing what's right, and making good decisions together. So, yeah.
Growing up in London, East London mainly, as a black man, what would you say the experience has been like? How would you summarise that so far?
It's good because East London is very multicultural. You find out different backgrounds, different people. You meet different people as well. And you develop good relationships. But as a young black man, I've always felt sort of separate from everybody else. That makes sense. As a young black man, you're judged for a lot of things. You know, you look at the crime and
You felt separate from everybody else. Who's everybody else? Do you mean society?
Society in school as well.
Okay.
Because I wasn't always in East London.
Okay.
I was in West London as well.
Yeah.
And I was in in fact, I grew up in Northampton.
Okay.
It's before I came to East London. So, man, that was a predominantly white school. You sort of feel left out. You're like, why am I the only black kid? You know? But I think it's good because you get to learn more about yourself and you get to embrace who you are and not be ashamed. And I think for me, growing up in East London as a young black guy, I learned to deal with life as it comes at you. And not to be afraid to be different and to do what's right and to actually build a good sort of reputation as a young black man, to do what's right, to go against the order, if that makes sense, what people think of you.
If I can be small-minded for a second and just judge you based on appearance, were you in a gang when you was younger?
Oh, no. That's not my kettle of fish.
Okay.
I've always aspired to be in the boardroom, if that makes sense.
Okay. Even from young?
From early.
Where was your first kind of inspiration of that? How did you even know that was a thing?
Well, my uncle, he used to work in, he still works in media. And to see him in the boardroom with top men in the media industry, making good money, big house. I thought, nah, I have to be at that level. And I'm glad that he was at that level for me to look at him in that way and see, there's something to aspire to.
Yeah.
And that was a seed that was early.
Absolutely.
Early.
Priceless.
Yeah. So from then I was like, nah, I can't be about the street life. It's too short-lived. You look at young guys, they're throwing their lives away, man. And it's not good. It's not good.
Uncomfortable conversation about money.
All right, cool.
And finances.
Well, it's good actually that we're talking about that.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on it? Cost of living crisis, London,
I think from the top down, the government don't care. It's all about a money-making scheme.
What's it?
When you look at the housing developments,
they're
not fit for people who work normal jobs. They're just for people probably overseas who want to buy into flats and apartments for investment. Then for them to put up a premium price, it doesn't fit what we're trying to do here, if that makes sense. And I think that it's sad. It's sad to see that the government don't care about people, especially in housing. We shouldn't have homeless people here. We're not a third world country. With all the resources that we have, there should be a lot made available to people to be comfortable, to find a place to rent, reasonable rent as well, and crack on, man. But finances is important. I think I learned that from early, to save, invest. I've had some major struggles where I've had times where it was really tough, where I've wasted a lot of money. But nah, man, finance is important for sure.
People say save and invest, like just throw away words. It can be hard to save, and also how do you find out what to invest in?
There you go. It's all about books. You got to read. YouTube's free. Go online. It won't take long to learn about, investments, hedge funds. In various sectors, you can make a lot of money if you work with the right people. But I think learn for yourself, man. People need to look into reading books, going online, watching YouTube videos of people that have been there and done it. People who've got skin in the game. That's important. Don't just listen to that guy on TikTok with a shirt and tie talking about investments. You've got to really think about where you want to make money as well, where you feel comfortable making money, and just focus on that. I came from a construction background. I've made good money. I'm still making good money. I've really pushed on in terms of working hard graft jobs and going into management. And then I'm, work with companies now. So exciting times, man. I think, just you got to really focus on that, like your finances.
You were talking about marriage earlier.
Okay, yeah.
Being no joke. Are you single now?
Yeah, single now.
Yeah.
Been about 2 years now.
Yeah.
I think it's been the best time for me. Really been a quiet time as well. Working on myself, not being distracted. I think a lot of people need to do that as well. Just to have some time away from dating, if that makes sense. And really looking to build yourself up and work on yourself, because what happens is if you haven't dealt with things in your past and you haven't dealt with like important things that need to be dealt with, sort of like your traumas, past traumas, and you enter into a relationship, you're going to really ruin something that can be beautiful. So I've just been working on myself, working on my business, building myself up, my character.
Yeah.
And next year,
You were saying that you date a certain demographic of women only, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us why that is.
All right, cool. Me personally, like the love I have for black women will never die. I'm just going to put it out there.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm talking like worldwide.
Yeah. I think the world will love you for that. I think, because I think black women here especially, I don't know about anywhere else, but don't get the love that they feel they should or deserve in general.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the dating polls, they're like at the bottom.
Yeah.
They're the least desired. So the fact that someone sat here now saying my love for black women will never die.
Yeah.
That's going to make you popular. And
of course. But it's a mindset.
Yeah.
Why would you hate black women? Or why would you not want to date black women? I've asked so many people and they can't give me a real reason why.
Let me see if I can. I mean, I wouldn't not date a black woman.
Yeah.
But let me give you some reasons, some things that I've heard, right?
Okay.
Come across in conversations. So attitude. attitude, clicking of the fingers, head movements. That's a stereotype, but the attitude behind that whole thing. Yeah. Wanting and demanding too much. You got to have this amount of money. I wonder if that's women in general or black.
It's women in general.
Yeah.
You're going to get attitude from every type of woman. It's not just what it is. When you've heard it's not so much a rumor, but when you've heard a statement for so long, you begin to believe it. Not every black woman has attitude.
Yeah. What about the hair? The hair argument? Or a lot of them don't wear their real hair.
What it is, I think a good number of black women need to embrace their culture and embrace their hair. It's probably been shamed amongst black women.
Yeah.
But I think, if a certain style can suit a certain woman in terms of hairstyles, but just embrace it. I don't have issue with the hair stuff. For me, it's like, that's our culture. Caribbean women with their Afro hair. It's not, it's sort of, it's a Caribbean thing, the rough hair top. But I don't have an issue with it.
Do you have what are your thoughts on modern women?
Wow. I mean, we could be here forever.
Yeah, go on. Give us
I think the modern woman in general is selfish.
Okay.
They think about themselves. And I think that long term, I don't think many women want to get married. It can be from past traumas, past relationships, men they've dated in the past. I personally feel that women don't believe they can get married because society's put it in a way where being single or not needing a man is beneficial, but it's a lie. Like for a woman to enter into marriage with the right guy it's perfect for them. It can build and develop their character, you know what I mean, and help them long term. I don't think a woman should be single forever. It's ridiculous. And not to get married, that's madness.
What are your views on your siblings' marriage? You said your sister's married and your brother's married.
Yeah, when my brother got married, I was happy. People were teasing me like, your brother got married before you, but we had a little sit down and talk. But I was happy. I saw a different side to my brother as well, providing for his wife, 2 sons. Him being a dad, me being an uncle as well was like, blew me away. But when my sister got married, that was like very emotional. Like just seeing her step into a role which she's never been in before. But for me, it was a massive relief. I didn't want my sister to be single. But the guy she married, funny enough, was not a black man. He was Indian. So it was completely different for us to embrace another culture, man, and bring him into the family. But yeah, I was super excited. But I was. It's like a weight was lifted off my shoulders to see my sister get married, and that was like, yeah, man, yeah, I'm grateful. Finally, I can relax.
Do you yourself partake in like dating and hookup culture?
For me, hookup culture long term is ridiculous. You don't really benefit from it.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you want to connect with 20, 30 people? It's madness. Me personally, I've always been someone who's been in long-term relationships. I mean, the last relationship I had was 4 years. I think that when people date, they need to make the right decisions, both men and women. But hookup culture's destroyed us. And I think social media sort of played a part in that, where you'd be given access to people you'd never see if social media didn't exist. And it puts you in a different frame of mind about dating as well. It's a scary place to be.
I think men have to live up to the guy on Instagram. I think you know what I mean by that, yeah?
Of course, yeah.
And then women have to live up to the fitness girl on Instagram.
Yeah.
Or fitness model or whatever. Are these both realistic?
They're not. They're not realistic. Why would you... put it this way, every man's not going to be like Andrew Tate. No one's going to be like him. I think the best thing to do is be yourself. And just be yourself, relax. Like, I don't know, why would you try and be like someone you don't know?
Because he tells every man to.
Yeah, but not everyone's in his shoes.
I know.
You know what I mean? Not everyone's on a private jet or on a yacht. Not everyone's around.
But he tells everyone to try to do that.
Not every guy has the capabilities of doing that, Alex.
I know. I agree.
It's unrealistic. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, most of the guys that watch him are working class guys. They're not entrepreneurs. You work 9 to 5 jobs. You can't do what he does. Yeah. So the best thing to do is be the best person you can be, and just crack on with your life, man. Date beautiful women, you know what I mean? And just find out more about yourself. Relax. But I think for women, there's massive pressure though. Just seeing other successful women and trying to be like them. I think social media for women and men is two complete different things.
How so?
So let's say, for example, like you're a guy, you post a picture, you get 5 likes. You're a girl, she posts a picture, there's 700 plus likes.
Yeah.
We live in a completely different world from women when it comes to social media.
I always say a girl, Amy from round the corner, who's just average.
Works in
girl.
admin. Yeah.
She is on par with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Okay.
On social media.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Or she could date a professional footballer.
Yeah.
And have that experience.
Exactly, yeah.
But a young guy's not going to be able to talk to a girl from, I don't know, Zara. Like, you're not going to be able to talk to a model.
No.
It's just not going to happen. You need to be an established guy. You need to have some form of...
You got to be the Instagram
guy. Yeah, you have to be that guy. But so it's two complete different worlds.
What's your relationship like with your mum?
Very good. Before it was very bad. One, because she used to nag me a lot. I was very rebellious as a young guy. Coming back home late, she would worry a lot. And but as the years have gone by, our relationship has got stronger. One, because she's given me life. Two, I've got to appreciate her. Because if I'm to be in a relationship with another woman, she's going to look at my relationship with my mum. And that's important. That's a massive plus for me if I treat my mum in the right way. But no, I'm grateful for her, man. Like, she's done a lot. Picked me up from school when I had detention. 2-hour detentions.
Whoa.
Yeah. School wasn't not the best place for me. But I think, I think my mum's been a massive part in my life.
What about your dad?
Took a while. Because look, my dad's always been there for me in my life.
They're still together?
Yeah, they've been married for about 37 years now. Still together. And that's played a massive part in my viewpoints on marriage. But my dad, man, he's just, it's been tough, if that makes sense. Because people have but people feel that I can be like him, if that makes sense. To be a pastor, to be...
Oh, he's a pastor?
Yeah, he's a pastor, yeah. So people are like, oh, one day you're going to be a pastor, but it's never been in my heart to preach.
Are you religious?
What do you mean by that?
Do you belong to a religion?
Well, look, I grew up in a Christian household.
Yeah. Are you a Christian?
I haven't been living up to the Christian lifestyle, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So for me, it's like, yeah, man. I've made so many mistakes to the point where I felt that I wasn't really good enough to be a Christian, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But people, it's really weird because I'll go to parties and stuff and people are like, I swear your dad's a pastor. And I feel so guilty. Because I'll be like, I'm letting my dad down. But at the same time, as a young man growing up, you make mistakes. But I think, yeah, if it was to be religion, it would be Christianity. But,
okay.
Yeah.
So you do believe in God?
Oh, 100%. There is a higher power.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, there's a higher power or there's God? Which one?
There's God.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have views on politics?
I don't really pay much attention to the government in terms of what they can do for us. But
Did you think COVID was a real thing?
Oh, look, put it this way. I lost my granddad to COVID.
Yeah.
So that is an emotional...
Why do some people... Sorry for your loss.
It's cool. No, thank you.
But why do some people say it wasn't a real thing and people who were wearing masks were stupid and were getting vaccine?
I think it's easy to... okay, look, put it this way. With COVID, you get people who were for COVID and people who aren't for COVID. There's always going to be two split teams when it comes to certain things like this, especially worldwide disasters, you know what I mean? Like, people say 9/11 was a conspiracy and, all that sort of stuff. Me personally, I think COVID, it was a real thing, but it wasn't as bad as we think it was. When you've got all the news and things are blown out of proportion and they're taking pictures and photos of the hospitals and people dying, it can sort of push that in the direction of, oh, this is not real. You know what I mean? So it pulls emotion out of people. And I think people have split sides and viewpoints on COVID. But I think it was real. And I think it was a major test for people as well. So, yeah, man.
Speaking of people wearing masks, what are your thoughts on Kanye?
He's an interesting character. He's someone who I definitely look up to. But I think he's a man who's hurting. He's someone who hasn't got the support I feel he should have had, especially in his marriage as well. I feel, even to this day, I felt that he married the wrong woman. That can be for a matter of reasons.
He married the girl of his dreams, literally. Like when Kanye first came on the scene, he was doing like interviews saying how much he was in love with Kim Kardashian. This is when he just wasn't even rapping yet.
I see. Yeah. I remember.
Blueprint 3 producer Kanye.
Yeah, I know.
Talking about Kim Kardashian. And he went after her from then and he got her. So that's why he married her. It's literally he chased the girl for years.
Of course, but look what happened to him. Look at his mate, he's divorced.
Is that her fault?
I think it is.
Why?
Well, put it this way, look at how they allow their kids to be in social media from such a very young age. Why would you do that? That's, you know what I mean? And I feel that I don't know. I felt she was the wrong woman for him. Me personally. Because I think when Kanye West's mum died, it changed him.
Yeah.
And I think a specific type of woman needs to marry that type of guy.
It's interesting because when Kanye's mum died, that's when his music changed. That's when he changed music.
There you go. Yeah.
The 808 and Heartbreak.
There you go.
That was the first album where a rapper did a whole album of singing.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So his emotion was pulled out of him, you know?
Yeah.
In the right way.
But why'd you say he married the wrong woman, though?
I just don't believe Kim's the right woman for him. Look how I don't know, like, young kids on social media is a massive red flag. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? The way she dresses as well. I'm going to be real with you. It's how she dresses, how she carries herself. I don't think that's the right woman for Kanye. That's just my personal opinion. People might think different. But we don't know them personally, so I can't really go into too much detail about, their life.
Talk to me about your charity.
Oh, the Samuel James Foundation?
Yeah.
That's going to be launching in January next year.
Yeah.
So the main focus of that will be a variety of things. Healthcare, mental health for men, which I think is massive. I think there needs to be a space where we can help men who are vulnerable.
Let me ask you something on that. Yeah. Okay, so there needs to be a space where we can help men, but who owns that space? Who creates that space? And do men ever come into these spaces anyway and share anything?
That's a challenge. I think the people that are there, I think the people that are in these spaces, who I will bring into the setup, especially for that specific thing, will need to be people who've recovered from mental health problems. Because you need to talk to people who've been through that experience, who can relate to that person.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important. And I think, mental health for men is massive.
It is massive, but part of the reason why change doesn't really happen is because we don't talk.
Men don't talk in general.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Men don't talk in general, but I think that it just needs to happen. For men to move forward and to move forward in their lives, they need to open up at some point in their life. You can't shut yourself off from the world forever. Ultimately, that will destroy you. You need to talk about certain things that are bothering you.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that space needs to be specifically just for men. We need to talk amongst ourselves, create a space where we can be vulnerable and to discuss things that we're scared to bring up. And I think people who have been through these situations in their past life, like mental health problems, need to be there to be able to help young men. I'm talking young guys from 18 upwards. Because there's too much pressure on young men from early. That could be a variety of things, making money.
Talk to me about your projects in Malta.
Malta?
The football.
Oh, so that project in Malta will be for, I'm looking to set up a private equity fund. That will be summer next year in Malta. That will be specifically for looking to invest in a football club. Hopefully it'll work out. Still discussing that with my partners. But that's a long-term plan. I want to be able to help young players and help a club gain a good reputation.
Yeah.
And just push on. Try and go for honours, compete at the highest level. But that's just that comes from my passion in sports and football anyway.
Yeah.
That's been built within me from young.
Did you grow up playing?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
High level
or? Semi-pro.
Semi-pro, okay.
Yeah, so like we're talking clubs like Northwood, Amersham Town.
Yeah.
Those clubs at that level. But I always felt that my skills overall would be coming from an ownership or management side.
Okay.
And I want to be able to, just open up the doors for a club to really push on and really have a good reputation, So it's exciting, man.
Do you have anything going on with the acting at all?
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Oh, yeah?
So there's about 3 or 4 scripts that are being completed for next year.
Okay.
So that will be shot early Feb. Just a variety of short films.
Okay.
Yeah, focus on mental health, issues with black men in our community,
right.
And relationships as well. So this is what these short films are going to be based around. And I want to be able to connect with the audience and draw emotion from the viewers. I mean, really put something on the screen that's going to, win awards and really just educate people, and help people to understand more.
A penultimate question, a deep one.
Okay.
So when you think about the black community, and money, especially men in the black community and money, should we be doing better financially in order to build a future and then generational wealth?
Yeah, I think we should. But the problem is that our mindset on money is short term. It's short term thinking. Like if you give 20K to an 18-year-old, he's buying a chain and a watch. It's going to happen. I think that we do need to really do better. But at the same time, we need to trust each other as well. We have the capability of working with other black men and building businesses and companies that can help, where we can reinvest back into our communities, if that makes sense. Create jobs as well. We have the ability to do these things, but I think that people believe that they can't get to that level. And I think it's from growing up from early. The household, working class families, seeing our parents struggle. I think people believe they can't get to that level where they can be entrepreneurs. And also there's a lot of influence with short-term thinking with finances in terms of drugs. And that's massive in our community. That's ultimately destroyed us. And I think young guys want to get things quickly. So they're more inclined to go down that route.
Yeah.
But I think long-term, just set up a business. And we need to trust each other and just build something that will last. But I think eventually it will happen. My aim is to do that as well under my charity. Teach young guys about finance.
Money management.
Yeah, like a Saturday school. Get that going. Sort of go into the schools, talk to young guys about finance, get them to come to the Saturday school. So I think if you get a group of young guys, let's say for between 100 to 150 young black guys, and you teach them about finance over the course of 5 years, their mindset's going to be different. They're going to be focused on the things they need to focus on.
Yeah.
And to earn money in a legitimate way.
Yeah.
And that's how you build generational wealth. You learn from early.
I also think it matters who the teacher is. It's got to be. Have you seen that guy, Pastor Toby from SPAC Nation? When he talks, I've been there a couple of times.
Okay.
Yeah, like my cousins roll with him and that. And when he talks, they listen because he's wearing it. He's wearing it, he's living it, he's showing it. So when he's saying certain things, they're listening.
Of course.
People say he's doing this and that behind the scenes. I don't know. But what I do know is that's someone you're going to listen to if they start talking about money, right?
Of course.
Whereas I would never listen to my mum.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think the people we need to be listened to about finances are people who have been there and done it.
Thank you.
Skin in the game.
Yeah.
So for me personally, I would, with that Saturday school, I'm looking to get guys who have set up a limited company, who have been there, done it, had some challenges. Also bankers as well, people at the highest level who are able to teach people about finance, the challenges about finances as well, how to invest in the right way. That's the main aim. So yeah, I think that's important.
Any other future endeavors?
I think that'll be it, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think
it's a lot.
Yeah, I know. I think acting's going to be the main thing for me. Acting, the charity, and the sports will be the 3 main focuses for next year. Everything else will probably follow, but that's the 3 main focuses for me. But now it's going to be exciting, and looking forward to it, man. Yeah.
Thank you again for your time.
Awesome. Thank you, Alex.
Yeah, good luck.
Perfect.